my hand, I hold a pin. This pin has a color. What if I told you the color of this pin was purple? What if I told you it was purple and there was no possible way you could convince me to see a different color? My friend once had a similar mindset, and he would come to me and say something along the lines of, David, did you know birds can fly out of the atmosphere? I would respond, Jake, where'd you get that one from? The internet, he would reply. The internet. And I would sit Jake down and have to tell him, Jake, birds can't fly out of the atmosphere because they would die. And he would look at me with this face of malice, awe, and almost disgust, and reply, but I saw it on the internet. Long story short, Jake and I aren't in contact anymore. Don't get me wrong, he was a great friend, but he didn't think for himself. I could tell him that the Atlantic Ocean would flood the East Coast in a week, and he would have his bags packed and a plane ticket ready to LA the next day. You may think my friend is a preposterous case, but this is a lot more common in today's society than we may think. I urge everyone to think for themselves. This cognitive skill will assist you in understanding your core beliefs, help you avoid speaking from ignorance, and better your ability to attentively listen to others. The well-established author and academic advisor said it best. Virkant Matharami said, quote, we're drowning in data. There's so much information and choices. We have to be able to filter out that information to understand what we're really consuming. I want to bring up the term stereotype. Now, a stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. Now, that's the official definition. But when I think of stereotype, I like to think of different. I see two terms. I see stereo and I see type. And when I think of stereo, I think of something many people get their media off of, such as people getting news from social media or news from the radio. And when I think of type, I think of something you can categorize, such as spices when you're cooking, like oregano, salt, you name it. And when you put these two together to form our original term, stereotype, you get a categorization based off something masses get their media. And when stereotypes are illuminated by large media, it creates a huge misinformed population. Yale University has a study that's really an eye-opener for how much information is truly out there. Quote, Americans as a total consume 3.6 zettabytes of data every day, or 34 gigabytes per person. Ironically, with this, we have nearly an enormous access to almost unlimited data. And with all this information, how do we know what to believe? It's just too much to comprehend. Remember when I told you this was purple? Did you think I was crazy? You can be honest. What if I told you the only reason I thought this was purple was because I saw Kim Kardashian tweet? How crazy would you think I am if I told you our heavily researched COVID-19 vaccine would turn us all into zombies in 6 months? Exactly. Highly unlikely. If so, my dream of surviving a zombie apocalypse has already been. If you're thinking like everyone else, you aren't thinking at all. And that's a quote from Mark Angel, who's the CEO of a life coach organization. You see how dangerous this can be? I'm talking about not thinking for yourself, doing your own research, or having your own personal educated opinion. And one of the most important things that few people do in our society is actually understand the topic before speaking about it. This is even worse due to the immense impact social media has on everyone currently. A survey conducted by Forbes shows only, quote, 10 to 15% of Americans are self-aware, while 95% believe they are, but in reality they're not. Media is so misleading that it tricks individuals into thinking that they're self-aware when they truly are not. And when I mean self-awareness, I'm talking about the understanding that information being consumed can be heavily biased or even false. Self-awareness helps us understand this concept further enabling the power of critical thinking. Anything can go viral when people just use it. Some of you may recall Blackout Tuesday, where on Tuesday 2nd, June 2020, people would post a black square in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. And we thought posting a black square would do something in our fight for injustice, when it was really just a trend to make people feel like they were doing something. But Black Lives Matter is not a trend. It's a movement. And imagine if everyone who posted that black square had done their research, possibly found a way to donate, or simply understood the reason why Black Lives Matter is a movement and not a trend. Think of the impact that would have. But people don't. They see a trend off social media and they're drawn to it like moths to a lamp. Thinking for yourself can help you develop a more accurate and sensible opinion on controversial topics. It's impossible to talk to someone who's extremely close-minded. Relying on your own thoughts and ideas make you more intelligent when you speak and assist you in seeing the world from a broad perspective. I want to circle back to talking about being closed-minded, because often closed-minded people do not think for themselves, and I'm a victim of this. Well, one of the most potentially promising antidotes to closed-mindedness is people's willingness to attain new information and adopt a thoughtful, methodical mindset. This cognitive style is also known as actively open-minded thinking, or for short, AOT. I grew up in a very old-fashioned household. Usual anti-LGBTQ, women cook and clean, men work and provide. And I believed these things all the way through my early childhood, until I started to question myself. Why can't women provide and provide? Men cook and clean, and people like whoever they please without receiving discrimination. I had no answers for these questions that ran endless laps around my mind, until I finally found that answer. They can. Men can cook and clean, women work and provide, and people like whoever they please without receiving discrimination. AOT, or actively open-minded thinking, made me more aware of my surroundings, understanding that there's more to the world than right and wrong, black and white. I started to listen, empathize. With this new lens I saw the world through, I got in touch with my own feelings and beliefs. This enabled me to start understanding what people were going through, how it made them feel, how to make them feel that they weren't alone. I've become a better person by thinking for myself, and so can you. Personally and internally, developing your own ideas and opinions aid you in being cognizant of your surroundings. By understanding what you believe, you start to understand who you truly are. Say you grow up in a Democratic household, and you believe Democratic ideologies for all of your life. But as you start to grow and think for yourself more, maybe you're more of a Republican. Or maybe you don't believe in government at all. It's simply an example. What I'm attempting to convey is by understanding why you believe an idea will help you get a taste for what you will continue to believe in the future, or even what you will continue not to. And understanding that is a huge step in a journey some people take years to figure out. Understanding yourself. Understanding myself more, empathizing with friends, and bringing an educated opinion to serious conversations are all abilities resulting from me simply taking that small extra step to think for myself. And today, with the power of introspection and mental evaluations, I can not only see the pen as orange, but understand why some may see it as